by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro
become
D.
bigger rivals of the Dodgers. The Padres are the Giants. The Giants certainly are historic, but it's in common modern day. I think it's the Padres. What's up, boys and girls? Dodgers on the brink. Quarterback news all over the NFL. Big night for New Mexico United. And the Utah Hockey Club is a thing. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. How you living?
What it do?
All right. What you look at last night? Is it all Dodgers Padres? You flip over and watch the Utah Hockey Club?
A little bit of everything.
I got a little Utah Hockey Club. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little enthralled by that. 5-2, they beat the Chicago Black. You're like, what is the Utah Hockey Club? They are the former Phoenix Coyotes who have moved to Utah, and they couldn't decide on a name for the team, so they will go by Hockey Club this year. Very original. Or the Utah Hockey Club, the Hockey Club, THC, if you prefer. Dodgers in trouble, my friend. Did you watch that third inning? Did you watch it unfold in real time?
Quite the game.
It was bizarre, man. Walker Buehler wasn't pitching horribly. I mean, the only real big hit he gave was the bomb to Tatis, but the Padres bled the Dodgers to death. I mean, it was death by 1,000 paper cuts. And an errant throw by Freddie Freeman that hit Manny Machado in the back. And great move by him. I thought for sure, and I was on the phone with my mom at the time, and I'm like, why are they not appealing that? He was out of the baseline. I guess the ruling is there is no baseline going first from second? Or first to second? Is that the way you understand it?
I've never thought that.
But that's what was explained by Tom Glavine, right? Or Josh Smoltz, I think, on the show.
Which was something you just always assume there was some type of area.
Well, there's a baseline going first. There's a baseline. I mean, it felt like there was a baseline going everywhere else. I didn't realize that a player could run that far inside onto the infield, which Machado did. A great move on his part. Because Freddie Freeman fielded a ground ball, was on his knees, threw from his knees to second base, hit Machado, rolled into left field. And then you got a ground ball, a short, that was a double play ball that they couldn't get an out on. And then another bleeder, and then a rip down the right field line, and then a home run. And it was just one of those things you're going, what the hell is going on here? But, yeah, I did not know that rule. I had no idea. And then Buehler threw an 0-2 fastball, and Tatis watched it fly to Pacific Beach. And he just stood there and watched the thing. And it was 6-1. Dodgers got a grand slam in the the top of the next inning from Teoscar Hernandez. And it was 6-5. And you're like, all right, we got a ball game. That's how it ended. Then the pitching just took over. I got a 6-5 game in the third, and not another run the rest of the way.
But those bullpens.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a crazy game. Dude, the Padres are nice. They're just good. And it started out in insane fashion. So I'll take you back to game two, when Jurickson Profar robbed the home run over the left field wall from Mookie Betts in L.A. That was that game where, remember, he reached over and you didn't know if he had it. Betts started running around the bases like he had hit a home run. Profar didn't do anything except for kind of look at the fans in left field and bounce around a little bit. And then about 15 seconds later, oh, dude, he caught the ball, right? Same damn thing, same place, different ballpark in the first inning last night. Same dude. And Betts, I thought veered. Good thing there's no damn baseline, right? It looked like Betts veered towards the dugout because he thought Profar caught it again. And it went off his glove this time and into the stands. And it was a home run for the Dodgers. A crazy start. Crazy. Did you watch the beginning of that?
Yes, I watched the game.
Yeah. Sorry. It was something. So the Dodgers are on the brink. The Mets handled the Phillies. It feels like the Mets and Padres are the two hottest teams right now. And, I mean, that would be a hell of a series. I know they still each got to win another game. But where that thing's headed right now, two teams that mash, they get key hits. It feels like that's where this is headed, doesn't it?
Yeah, Stars stepping up for the Padres, and it's going to be interesting because the Dodgers, still won 98 games in the regular season, finished 5 games ahead of the Padres. But to me, these teams are still as close as it gets right now because of the talent that San Diego has. The injuries for the Dodgers. At some point in time, you can point fingers all you want at Dave Roberts, this or that. Like, they've invested so much in that team, and even if you're the Dodgers, there's only so many arms you can have, and it really feels like that's the thing that's getting to them right now is this top end quality pitching. But still, the offense is what you have to lean on. You had an opportunity last night, Teoscar Hernandez, huge moment to get it back within 1, and then it was just a stalemate the rest of the way.
Well, and your studs aren't hitting. I mean, Mookie Betts went 2 for 4 last night. It broke out of it. You needed him. He's hitting 200, but Ohtani's hitting 231 in the playoffs, which is 3 games long. Freddie Freeman's not hitting. You're not getting anything out of Will Smith. He hasn't got a base hit yet. And then you lose Rojas to an injury. He goes out. I always look at this. We'll get into this with the Robert Solid stuff too. How much is a manager or a coach responsible for it? But I mean, for crying out loud, dude's going to get key hits. I honestly believed before Teoscar Hernandez hit that grand slam, Dodgers were going to load the bases with no outs and walk away with nothing, because they got what was it, I think it was a strikeout and a line drive. No, Betts, who hit the liner? Ohtani hit the liner to left. Maybe it was Betts, and then Freeman, whatever it was. They loaded the bases with no outs, and I thought they were going to walk away with nothing. It was a 2-out grand slam. That was a big hit. But where's 1, 2, 3? Right? Where's Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman? That's you got your 3 MVPs at the top of the lineup. Is that on Dave Roberts that they're not getting clutch hits?
Well, Freeman's doing all he can, man.
He's hurt. No, he's got a really, really bad ankle. You saw, they took him out. You saw when he had to jump for a ball at first base, he came down on it, and okay. But still, is that Dave Roberts' fault?
No.
Players make plays, right? No. Dodger fan, let's go. Padre fan. I was at Home Depot the other day. Dude was wearing his Padre jersey underneath his Home Depot apron. He was all fired up about it. He'd lived in San Diego for 30-something years, and this was his moment. And look, I'm going to tell you, if there's a town in America, and you're going to tell me, yeah, whatever, it's San Diego, they got everything, that their fans will, like, I don't want to say deserve, because it's probably not the right word, but maybe it is, who've never had a championship and are really good sports fans. You're like, no, they're not, Jeff. Yeah, no, they kind of are, actually. They supported the Chargers for 50-something years before the Spanos took them away. They've gone to Padre games for years. Jeff, you see the crowds? Yeah, no, I have. A lot to do in San Diego when the teams were really bad. They've never had a championship. Chargers never won. Clippers never won. Padres never won. Aztecs never won. Aztecs were close in college basketball. They've never had a championship to celebrate. The San Diego Sockers did. They were indoor soccer. They were a powerhouse, a dynasty back in the 80s. Indoor soccer, the San Diego Sockers. And the Gulls have been all right. But, I mean, as far as the big league level, I don't know. Is there a fan base more starved for a championship? I mean, every fan base loves their championships, don't get me wrong. Philly, L.A., New York, Chicago, Denver, they've all had their championships. San Diego, never. But Seattle has. Portland has. I mean, you can tell me Memphis or Nashville, but they're relatively new to the scene. That fan base is jonesing for it, dude. That town will go bonkers.
And they can keep waiting.
You think they're going to?
They should.
All right, fair
I'm
enough.
bitter about everything San Diego.
Because of the Mountain West?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that you say that. I mean, not funny, but I got a
jilted lover.
No. I got a longtime board member of the bowl game yesterday, who said, "Hey, I love what you do, but I'm so angry at college football right now, and what happened in the Mountain West, and I'm going to take a year off. Been with the game for like forever.
It has nothing to do with the Padres.
No, I get
nothing
it.
to do with
I understand what it's got to do with. No, I get it.
But it's the whole, we're San Diego. oh, we don't win, too bad we got the beach. But then if we win, then it's the best thing
Then
ever.
we-
I
then we
want
got
to live
everything.
that life. I want that.
Yeah, then we got
life.
everything. Yeah. I get that. All right, a lot to do today. We got a lot of quarterbacks. I got a lot of thoughts as we went through the day on Robert Saleh and the Jets and Rodgers, and I'm going to ask some questions today. I want to have some conversation about how that went down, and really Rodgers and legacy and some long-term stuff. We'll get into that. Injury news as we go through your football week. We had an interesting football game last night. You almost had a playoff contender get beat at home last night. So I'll get you through that as well. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. That's the phone line and the Sports Animals text line, area code 505-246-0610. Your emails will be Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the X, it's _ JJ Buck. And on the Facebook, the OD in the AM, and you can watch the show there. Adrian's producing. It's also on Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico and on our Facebook page. A lot of those interviews are still up, man. People, yesterday I got a few more. I love the Aiden Armenta conversation. I know a lot of you have been listening to both Diego Pavia on Monday and Aiden Armenta, and they're both up at sportsanimalabq.com, and you can click on the opening drive and catch those. When we get back, NFL news, quarterback stuff, who's hurt, who's out, who's competing for a job going into week 6. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep,
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King.
Mets trying to close out the Phillies at 3:08. Yankees in Kansas City and Missouri. That series is 1-1. And then the late one in San Diego, Dodgers and Padres. And it just feels like it should go 5, but I don't know, man. I feel like the Padres are better. They're healthier. Their starting pitching's better. You don't think their starting pitcher's better? As we sit here constituted today?
Dylan Cease
is really good.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It'd be 2-1.
All right. And
But
Michael King's pretty good. He got
Not
touched
last
up.
night.
He got touched up last night. Who we got today? We get today's Wednesday. So it'll be Cease. Dodgers haven't decided who they're throwing yet today.
Robert said it's going to be a bullpen game.
Which concerns you a little bit. But all right. And then maybe that's why he threw Buehler, so he let Buehler go so long last night, too. All right, 505-246-0610. Quarterback stuff, NFL, Derek Carr out for a while with the oblique injury. So it's either going to be Spencer Rattler or Jake Haener. Jake Haener was the guy who came in relief on Monday. Haener was listed as number 2 on the depth chart. That affects everything that they do. I think it's, look, you start out the season watching them and say, oh, they're a player in the NFC South. I don't know if you think that anymore, do you?
I thought Derek Carr. Could they find a spark with Spencer Rattler? It's possible that he brings a little bit of extra athleticism at the position. It actually feels like some of the early reports that's where they're leaning.
Okay.
Is to go with the rookie quarterback this weekend. But any team without their starting quarterback and it's an unknown, it's a giant question mark. And we know with Tampa Bay and Atlanta, you have veteran quarterbacks that have played at a high level. You have better teams overall. I think the Saints should have been in that conversation. But without Derek Carr, yeah, they drop.
We'll watch that. Whoever they announce, be careful. You got Olave, you got Kamara, you got.
They didn't even use Chris Olave against Kansas City.
He didn't look at him.
And I think it's a credit to Kansas City's defense, and that unit's still very strong. But there's times you just look at this Saints team and you expect more from them, and you don't get it.
All right, Drake May will make his first career start, it sounds like, for the Patriots. He will become the 7th Patriots quarterback to make his first career start for the Patriots since 2000, third to do so in his rookie season. If you're looking to bet the game, and it's kind of a weird one, they play Houston. Rookie quarterbacks making their first start for the Patriots since 2000 are 5-1. Kind of crazy. And we're talking about Bailey Zappi, who won. Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo, Matt Castle, and Tom Brady all won. Mac Jones, the only one who lost. Can I guess they're going to go 5-2?
I think that's a good guess. Now,
this isn't a good team. The whole concern about throwing him out there was throwing him out there and losing his confidence. The offensive line is statistically the worst in the league. They don't run the ball well. They don't have a lot of weapons. They're not very good, and that was the whole reason to sit him behind a veteran and let Jacoby Brissett play. But Jacoby Brissett hasn't been very good. And I don't know that this is going to make a difference in who they are. They lost 15-10 to Miami the other day. Brissett didn't reach 100 yards passing until the fourth quarter. His head coach was asked to assess his performance, and Gerard Mayo said, quote, "It just wasn't good enough. I thought we played well enough defensively on special teams to win. As the quarterback, he understands this. He touches the ball in every single play, and we didn't score enough points to win the game." All right, then. Sounds like you go with the bullpen.
Well, this is one they're telling you they're not good.
Yeah.
That they didn't want to run the rookie quarterback out there because they're not good. and then you're trying to hold Jacoby Brissett accountable for being bad in a bad offense.
Yes.
And Drake May is not going to spark this team in terms of all of a sudden the offensive line starts blocking better. The wide receivers get separation. He's a better athlete. He might create some explosive plays, but this is all about learning lessons.
Yeah,
Go take your lumps and get that experience.
And he's going to learn some damn lessons. I'll tell you what. And this is a Houston defense that I think is pretty good. It's a hell of a play this weekend, by the way. Don't you think? Houston against New England's offense?
Yeah. Attack New England's offense, Dolphins' offense,
Yeah.
Browns.
Finally got rid of the Browns defense. I mean, I still got them one place, but I just, yeah. All right. I want to get into this. I listened to a lot of stuff yesterday on Robert Saleh. And look, I'm not a Robert Saleh fan necessarily. I think Robert Saleh, I was glad when he got the Jets job because that meant he wasn't running the 49ers defense. And I thought the 49ers defense was terrific when he was running it. Then DeMeco Ryans came in and he was just as good. I don't know if Robert Saleh is a good head coach or not. I know what his numbers are, 20 and 36. That says he's not very good. I listened to so much conversation. I actually took a few minutes last night and peeled down some numbers and started looking at who this is on and where this is going to go and what I think. And I guess it comes down to a number of things. Do you think that this move, going to Jeff Ulbrich, is going to turn the fortunes of the New York Football Jets? Are they now going, like they're one game out in the AFC East and they play a team in front of them next week in the Buffalo Bills? Do you think this now turns them around? You get rid of a head coach who's a defensive coach, whose defense is really, really, really good, by the way. You give the defensive coordinator the head job. The reports coming out of New York are that Saleh was considering making a change at offensive coordinator. Well, I mean, everybody sitting outside the organization says that, but again, I always am careful. I'm not in the building. The offensive coordinator is Nathaniel Hackett. He's a made man because he's Aaron Rodgers' guy. Those reports haven't been confirmed, but they're pretty credible sources. Do you think that this move somehow is going to spark the Jets' offense, that Aaron Rodgers is going to become better, that the Jets, that they start winning games now?
No.
Okay. Do you think it's, and again, he's got to assume culpability. He's the head coach, and so it's partially on him. Do you think he's the biggest factor in them out to a 2-3 start?
No, that's the offense.
Okay, but he's the head coach, so he's got to be in charge of the offense. So,
and he was going to make a move,
yeah,
allegedly, with changing play calling duties, taking them away from Nathaniel Hackett. Like Robert Saleh was given the opportunity to develop a young quarterback. They didn't, so they went in with the veteran, handed everything over to Aaron Rodgers. And the reason that you'd keep Robert Saleh around for a time like this is because you're not asking him to overcoach an offense. That's not. He's a defensive coach. He's a defensive coordinator. So it's not shocking that some of these quarterbacks haven't popped. But then you hand everything over to Aaron Rodgers, bring in his guy Nathaniel Hackett, who it's one of those coaches that there's nothing other than he's friends with Aaron Rodgers.
It's amazing,
as to why
right?
he has a job.
It's amazing.
And that once you get in that league and you have just those connections, you can live life like that. Is the team? Is there a shakeup? Is there a bit of a wake up kind of a push that they do look different? It's entirely possible, but this is Woody Johnson, an owner that has never fired a coach in season, overreacting to the moment. Aaron Rodgers is coming off an Achilles injury. He's 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Everyone says, hey, we have championship expectations. We have high expectations. The offense was going to be sluggish regardless early in the season. But yet, it's the name, and you have everyone going, well, shoot, this should look like Aaron Rodgers 10 years ago. It's not. And then you have bad offensive coaching. But again, we all understand, we know the game, the head coach takes the hit. This is not going to change their fortunes. This is who they're going to be.
When we come back, I want to discuss this, and I'll ask you the question before we go. I'm trying to put it the right way. We talk about guys' legacies, and does it matter how much do you care about a legacy? And that's fair. However much you care, I don't care. But I think dudes care about their legacies, and I think Aaron Rodgers certainly does. When Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, I think we all believe there's no way he can hurt his legacy. His legacy is solid, right? Can the stint in New York irreparably harm the legacy of Aaron Rodgers moving forward? I want to get into that a little bit. 505-246-06. I'll tell you what I mean when we get back and see what you think about that. 505-246-0610. But can this run in New York ultimately harm the legacy, what you end up thinking of? I'm not telling you won't be a Hall of Famer of Aaron Rodgers. We'll do that next. I want to tell you about On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They come out and detail my vehicle, and not just mine, but they'll do it for you as well, because that's what they do. Hence, On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Where it's convenient and when it's convenient for you, they'll come to your office, they'll come to your home, they'll go to the park, wherever it is that you are for long enough for them to detail your vehicle. And that means clean it inside and outside and under the hood and around the rims. Detailing, not just cleaning. Like the day you took it off the lot, clean. Brand new feel, clean. That's what it will be when they are done. Remember how fun it was? You enjoyed getting in your vehicle. Now you got into it and you see all that crap and you move stuff around and I get it. It's life. It happens. All of us. But you can have that new car feel, new car smell, new car excitement without having a new car. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will do that for you. And it's not just detailing. They have window tint, 3M dealer. They're certified. That means they got the best product on the market. They have paint protection film and ceramic coating. Ask them about a lifetime warranty on that as well. They're the best in the city. They were voted best in the city because they are the best. On the Spot Automotive Detailing. You can look at them online. It's at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com. Or just pick up the phone and call them at 505-859-2859. That's area code 505-859-2859.
This report brought to you by D.H. Lescombe Winery and Bistro. Great.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts? What's the worst that can happen? Seriously? Buckle up. Okay. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Football tomorrow night here on The Sports Animal. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. We open you up with 49ers and Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. Niners 3.5-point favorites. Is that enough up in Seattle? 3.5 over a Seattle team that just lost at home to the New York Giants. It's a big one, too. The Seahawks are in first place at 3-2. Niners 2-3.
I think that's a fair number.
Okay.
And it kind of got a win game for San Francisco, feeling the pressure early in the year.
Yeah, it is. It is. So that's how we'll get you started. All right, I want to talk to you a little bit and tell me if I just, I don't know, gave it too much thought. So Aaron Rodgers is going to go down as a great quarterback. He's a Hall of Famer. There's no argument. His comps have been throughout his career Brady, Manning. Who else? Who else have been his comps during his career? Right? Those two guys. But both those guys have multiple Super Bowl rings. He's got 4 MVPs. When it's all said and done in New York, can his legacy be tarnished? Or are his numbers solid? And I'll give you the numbers, and I'm not going to give you the specifics. It doesn't matter. But I saw a stat yesterday. There have been 11 players who have won multiple MVPs. He's won 4. Most of them quarterbacks. But there's been 11 players in the history of the league that won multiple most valuable players. And only 2 of those players who have won multiple MVPs have not gone to multiple Super Bowls. Now, it's the ultimate team game, and you're right when you're going to tell me, well, it's not just him, Jeff. It's not just him. You know, it's a team that gets to the Super Bowl. And you're right. The 2 guys who've won multiple, do you know who the other one is? Lamar Jackson. Right? He hadn't been to one. What if I told you the comps for Rodgers during his career aren't necessarily Manning and Brady and Roethlisberger, but they're more Stafford and Rivers and those guys, which, by the way, aren't bad quarterbacks. Would you argue with me?
No, we're still talking about Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks.
Yep.
It's just the difference from being in the conversation of one of the greatest of all times to just being a really good quarterback in the history of the game.
So I think that's right. And then there's the off-field stuff, which will always come into it. Brady will have Deflategate, but that never really stuck to him, right? Manning's always going to be the likable, funny dude and did it in two different places. Hell, Roethlisberger had the rape charges. That didn't really stick to him, but he won multiple. Rodgers is going to have, when it's all said and done, and I don't know if the Robert Saleh thing is going to come down on him hard, and I'm really interested to see what comes out and what the stories are. When has he ever been okay with his head coach?
Never.
So this is why I'm saying his peers, and maybe it's not even fair to say Rivers and Stafford. Brady played for two head coaches, right? He played for Belichick and then he played for Bruce Arians. Would you agree that both of those head coaches were better for having Brady play for them?
They were.
Who did Manning played for? Mora and Caldwell and Dungy and Kubiak and Fox. Is that right? Were all those coaches better for having, because they had him as quarterback? They kind of were, right? I don't know. Is Mike McCarthy better because of Aaron Rodgers? It feels like LaFleur is better without Aaron Rodgers. Robert Saleh sure as hell wasn't better with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Am I thinking this too deep in this? I'm just looking at the common denominator, and he's never been happy with a head coach. It's kind of wide receiver-ish, right, in the diva mode when it comes to him.
Oh, very much so.
I'm not looking to hate on the dude. I'm just saying I'm watching this whole thing play out, and I listened to Woody Johnson say, yeah, I talked to Aaron Rodgers, but he had no part in this decision. Wait a minute. So you talked to him between Sunday and Tuesday morning on the trip back from London where you decided to fire your coach. You talked to Aaron Rodgers, but you didn't talk to him about firing your head coach? And by the way, the head coach reportedly was going to demote your buddy who is calling the plays. I don't know, man. Is Rodgers making them better? No, he's better than Zach Wilson. Okay, yeah, if that's the measuring stick, yeah, he is.
Aaron Rodgers is trying to get everything he wants and then play it off like it's never his fault.
Right.
And what you just laid out is absolutely true. There shouldn't be this much friction between Aaron Rodgers and everyone.
Yes.
And I think part of it is the fact that there was that much friction. And I don't necessarily think it was, Robert Saleh is the worst coach ever. Because I think if you're Robert Saleh, you were taking a little bit of a hands-off approach. Sorry, it's Aaron Rodgers. This dude knows what he's doing. He does. Like Aaron Rodgers.
No argument.
Like, if he wants to call a whole game himself, fine. Yeah. But it does feel like anytime you try to coach him, he's like, who are you? And just, it's all the little interactions. When he went to hug him and he pushed him away, like little things like that are not nothing when it comes to Aaron Rodgers.
Big. That's big.
When it comes to Aaron Rodgers, everything he does is calculated. Every interview he does, he has a point, reason he's trying to get across. And I think that was actually more of what Woody Johnson was seeing, is that there's a disconnect. And Aaron Rodgers is the guy that you're pitting your hopes on of anything good happening in the next year or two. And you're going to remove the variable that was the easiest to remove in this situation. That was Robert Saleh.
I was trying to remember yesterday if it was in the last couple of years. And I don't remember if it was Marshall Falk or Eric Dickerson who told me this. But it was at a dinner, and he said almost every Hall of Fame player I've ever known wanted to be coached. And it always stuck with me, right? The greats want to get better. They want to get coached. They want to get pushed. I never felt like Aaron Rodgers wants to be coached. Hence the Nathaniel Hackett thing, right? He's getting in a comfort zone where he's in control. And every time it felt like he was being coached, pushed, challenged, called out, whatever. There was friction. Mike McCarthy, LaFleur, Robert Saleh, right? And I don't, it kind of hit me yesterday, it just rang in my head yesterday, where if it rang in my head and it was stuck so much, I would remember which one told me that. But I don't know, do you ever feel like he wants to be coached? He is kind of the guy who feels like he's got it all.
He talks in circles about it.
Yeah, he talks in circles about everything.
Development and the importance of coaching, but when it comes to Rodgers, and you look at it, and Mike McCarthy, Matt LaFleur, like, these guys are good coaches. Like, say what you want about the records, and every Cowboy fan wanting to fire Mike McCarthy. You don't just fall on your face to win double-digit games that many times.
No.
Look what Matt LaFleur has done with the transition to Jordan Love. Heck, the 2 weeks with Malik Willis. He put together winning game plans for a quarterback.
He feels like he's a better coach without Aaron Rodgers, doesn't he?
And Aaron Rodgers is absolutely the guy that is the smartest dude in the room. And we know why Robert Saleh's gone. It's because that wasn't a coach relationship there. And Rodgers will be interesting to see what he says today about it. And
yeah, he'll be on McAfee today.
How he tries to spin it and whatnot. But this has Aaron Rodgers' fingerprints.
Oh, he's going to say I had nothing to do with it, and we had a great relationship. And so I'll go back to my original question. Do you feel that his tenure with the Jets will harm his or can harm his legacy?
Yes.
I do too. I think when it's all said and done, I think he drops a notch from being compared to Manning and Brady as his peers in this generation of quarterbacks. And not that there's any, look, Phillip Rivers, Matthew Stafford, where do you put Roethlisberger? Because he won two. Is Roethlisberger Manning and Brady, or is he Rivers and Stafford?
Be in between.
All right.
Because that's one where we got to take this break, by the way, real quick, but Roethlisberger had the talent plus the resume. At some point in time, I'm tired of hearing that Aaron Rodgers might be the most talented quarterback ever.
No, he's not. I mean,
he might throw a better football than anyone else. He hasn't parlayed it into enough.
Let's finish this on the other side, or at least continue it on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Sports Animal.
All right, got a question for you, and that's the conversation we're having. Can the stint with the Jets ultimately hurt Aaron Rodgers' legacy? 505-246-0610. Text line says, what's today's date? 9? Wow, there's a lot on here. As a hater of, I'll get into that in a bit. All right, that's the baseball. No, a poor late career performance at the Jets after leaving the Packers won't and shouldn't negatively affect Rodgers' legacy, unlike Brady, who walked into an already great team. A better comp to Rodgers is Steve Young rather than Brady and Manning. Well, but my comps were of his era, right? People that he was being compared to in his era. And I'm not sure I understand the comp on Brady. So did somehow winning the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay hurt Brady's legacy? It sure as hell helped it, didn't it? He went and won with another team. Now, could it have hurt him if he went to... I didn't think Brady's legacy could be hurt at all, but maybe you think differently. This one says the only thing about the Jets that was professional was the defense. He leaves the offense to Rodgers and Hackett, and he gets fired? Jets are always going to jet. Okay. 505-246-0610. I mean, he went over there, and I personally, I wonder how I'll look at him, and am I going to remember the Packer, or am I going to remember the Jet? I think ultimately I'll remember the Packer, like you do with Brett Favre. But Tyler, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning.
Good morning. If we're remembering the Packer or the Jet, it doesn't really matter. What about the New York Giant that was Eli Manning? What does his career mean? Now everybody's saying he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I think regardless of what happens with Aaron Rodgers, he's in. He's way better than Eli.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's doubting is he a Hall of Famer. What will his legacy be? But I appreciate the call. Thank you. Yeah, nobody's saying he's a Hall of Famer, right? Nobody's arguing that.
I think with Aaron Rodgers, he is very talented. He's going to have a ridiculous record overall as a starting quarterback in his NFL career. But I think he's one of those guys you're going to look at, and it's all to that point. It's football. It's a quarterback is important, but Eli Manning beat who to win 2 Super Bowls?
He beat Tom Brady both times.
Okay, so that it is.
Well, he beat the
point.
Patriots both times. How about that?
Beat the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah,
and we don't think Eli Manning is that. But you're gonna. I think it goes back to Aaron Rodgers, his career, and it's kind of being highlighted now. Even at the end, he's 41 years old with the Jets, coming off an Achilles injury. But it feels like he's just always going to leave you wanting more.
Yeah, but it feels like it's more than the physical with him, right? I mean, is he a coach killer?
Because there was this stretch, just recently, 2019 to 2021.
He was really good, number
3
one.
straight years where they won 13 games.
Yeah, and then what they do after that in the playoffs.
I know, and that's it's just.
And in that game and at that position, you're judged more. I mean, it's about that, isn't it? I don't even know if we judge you more. I mean, who gets more judged for championships? A guy, an NBA star or a quarterback? I mean, we're counting, the biggest argument, Michael versus LeBron, is championships, right? Record in finals, 6-0 versus 4-6, or whatever it is, right? I don't mind the comp being whoever you want the comp to be. My comp was, and if you want to throw Eli in there, that's probably right. Of that era. Yeah, Eli, look, nobody's arguing. Dude's Hall of Famer. I guess it comes back to, the guy got fired, Robert Saleh. The answer is yes, I'm okay with that too. Dude, you're 2-3. It's your football team. Do what you want. But why do you think that's going to solve the problem? I'm not in love with Robert Saleh. I don't know that I think he's a good coach. You kind of set yourself up for this, didn't you? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as Red and Green.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as Red and Green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
That was game day today for, well, a whole lot of game days. You're like, yeah, it is. And he's like, yeah, it is. And she's like, yeah, it is. Because it's game day. 4 baseball games today. You get the Tigers and the Guardians. I almost said Indians. Guardians first. Then intersecting that will be the Mets and Phillies. Then the Yankees and Royals and Padres and Dodgers for the nightcap. Padres beat the Dodgers last night 6-5. They're up 2-1. The best of 5 can close it out tonight is San Diego. Mets over the Phillies 7-2. Mets will try to close out Philadelphia tonight in Queens or this afternoon. Game day for the Aggies. They are in Jacksonville, Alabama. Did you look at the spread on that game? Do you know what it is?
I have not seen the spread yet.
What would you think the spread is? 1-4 New Mexico State, 2-3 Jacksonville State. It is Wednesday night CUS action. I don't know what do you call it.
I'll go 18.5.
20.5 points. The Aggies are dogs. That seems like a ton to me, dude. I mean, Jacksonville State's won 2 in a row. But they lost to Coastal Carolina, Louisville, and Eastern Michigan. The Eastern Michigan game was tight. Then they blew Southern Mississippi out 44-7 and put up 63 on Kennesaw State, beat them 63-24. Aggies scored 40 points in their last outing against New Mexico State. This will be an interesting one tonight. I'm interested to see what they do. Game day for New Mexico United. They look to wrap up the number 1 seed in the Western Conference playoffs tonight. They will be home against Phoenix Rising out at the ball pitch. 7 o'clock kickoff for New Mexico United tonight. So lots of game day out at Twin Warriors. The NB3 match play, which is going on, Nota Bege's match play. I don't know if you caught any of it on Golf Channel or was out there. New Mexico State had a good day. And that was, it was a really good day for them. It'll be Lobos and Aggies today, but New Mexico State men rallied and they picked up 4.5 points over Stanford. And they got a 1-point lead over Texas on the men's leaderboard going into today's final round. Aggies and Lobos on today in match play on the men's side. And a great day out there. They couldn't have asked for anything better. But did you catch any of that on the Golf Channel? I forgot to tune in the afternoon. I was watching the baseball. I forgot. But this is cool. And if you're looking for something to do today, get out there. Great college golf. Stanford, Texas, New Mexico State, New Mexico. Out at Twin Warriors. It's the NB3 match play. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. The number to get in today, 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. As a hater of that team, that especially this year is overrated, and a fan of both the San Diego and Detroit teams, I hope the Padres face the Tigers in the World Series. Ratings be damned. Be a rematch of 84. Otherwise, and Mountain West football realignment-wise, what other school is the conference going after and getting UTEP in the attempt to get to 8 schools? Boy, these are tough reads. He must be texting while driving. Really, really tough reads. Have you heard anything on Hawaii was the latest conversation, right?
It's been a quiet few days.
Yeah.
Usually get this stuff in like 24-hour dumps.
Right.
And then you react to it, but it's been quiet.
Hawaii becoming a full-time member was the latest conversation to get you to your number. How did you feel about that when you thought that through with all the travel? And I think that's where that hiccup is the travel stipend.
It's how much more is it going to cost Hawaii with all their sports as opposed to the Big West where they're just hitting Cali? I think makes a lot of sense because you already have that relationship, so you're not having to open new doors.
Yeah.
And at this point, there's not one that you go, oh my gosh, this has to happen over the other. The reality is, Pac-12, if they offer someone else, they're probably going to get it. And for them, I really wonder where the UNLV stuff was. Did UNLV really turn down the Pac, or were they never really?
Well, they had the opportunity. They didn't have it the first time, but they came back to them. They absolutely had the opportunity. Yeah,
because that one's the really interesting one to me.
Yeah,
what happened there? Because that does leave the Pac-12 reaching now in terms of what their 8th is going to be.
Doesn't your gut tell you Memphis? They're going to work something out with Memphis.
I do believe that because the way Memphis, their administration has talked on it, they've pretty much said, come back with a better deal, and we'll go.
Yeah. You read something yesterday about the branding and what the brand means. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the brands within the brand at the Pac-12 aren't better going forward collectively than they are in the Mountain West. Washington State, Oregon State, Boise State, San Diego State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Utah State, whatever, are better. They go deeper brand-wise. I'm not telling you competitively. I'm just telling you what it means nationally brand-wise than Air Force, New Mexico, Wyoming, Nevada, Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
San Jose State. I mean, that's not arguable, right? But you were telling me something really interesting in regards to the value of the brand of the league, Mountain West versus Pac-12.
Yeah, this is one where when you're in it and you see those Mountain West schools leave, you're like, you guys, you're not that much better than us, really. Well, it's under that Pac-12 banner, they're going to have more push than I think people want to give him credit for in negotiations, in terms of being able to bring eyes. One thing that I've noticed a lot recently is more schools are hiring specifically for creative media. So athletic departments are bringing people in for X and Instagram, and understanding that this is a part of your marketing strategy. This is there. And there's Jeremy Darlow is a sports marketing professional. I just ran across some interesting numbers, because I think when you're in this bubble and you look at the schools that left, and you just feel that, again, like, you're not going to be that much better. Pretty much what the Pack is able to do is, even with it just being Oregon State, Washington State, their brand doubles up any social media reactions that the Mountain West does. Any post they do is doing double the numbers of the Mountain West.
Is that because there's still all the followers from SC,
There's some of
UCLA,
that.
Arizona, all those schools?
Yes, but it's interactions with the post and followers of said team. So you look at, like, bringing in Gonzaga, and people understand, well, that's not going to do anything for them. Gonzaga men's basketball has more followers on Instagram and X than all the Mountain West remaining members do combined.
Say that again.
So Gonzaga men's basketball,
Yeah.
their Instagram and X followers, they have more followers, that brand,
Yeah.
going into the Pack. So it's a combination, right? That's what you're saying. But Gonzaga has more followers than the remaining 7 Mountain West schools combined.
That's insane. See,
So there's just little
it's
things
brand.
in this that the Pac-12, to your point, I think it's a really good point that I don't want to get lost. That, well, is it still the UCLA and USC followers? There's a bit of that, but this thing resonates. As much as we want to say, oh, well, you're just the Mountain West Conference, there still is a national power of that brand hitting people a different way.
That brand is so entrenched, and the late, great Bill Walton was as great as anybody in helping that, right? The Conference of Champions. The brand has been around for over a century. The Pac, the Pac-8, the Pac-10, the Pac-12. If you go nationally, look, as much as we're in the bubble, people in Michigan, Florida, North Carolina, Vermont are not aware. They could not tell you which teams are just left the Mountain West, which ones stayed. They don't. They don't know. But there is the credibility. Oh, but they're in the Pac-12 now. 100% right. The branding is worth, and I don't know, the media consultants, or more so the media entities, will determine what that branding is worth. But remember when we were talking about a reverse merger? There was, why don't they just merge and become the Mountain West? No, why don't they merge and become the Pac-12? Because the brand value is there. What the equity in that brand, it doesn't matter necessarily, although it does, who's in the league. There's going to be people who still think it's the Pac-12 of whatever. And even though they know SC's in the Big Ten because they're an Illinois fan or they're a Penn State fan, they don't know the difference between, probably right now, the Mountain West or the WAC. They still think it's the WAC. Like, they don't know. And it's like the dude who sat next to me at the bar the other day and told me he didn't have enough money to care about the game that I was watching.
But they have enough money to care about your quarterback.
100%.
It is fascinating because this stuff plays into the media conversation, the who's watching, who's interacting with it. The Pac-12 has fired up those other fan bases unlike anything else. There's no doubt about it.
And
because
why?
that's part
But
of
why?
because
of the brand. Yes.
So it's here's another one. So it's not just Gonzaga coming in, and Gonzaga has their brand and it's built. But that's why it was such a big get for the Pac. To even bring them in basketball only. I understand this is a football conversation, but you can also then look at the engagement, and it's Mountain West fan bases that are going to another level. So those schools that went to the Pac, the way that they're interacting with this stuff. So here's one that he put out there. So when the Mountain West put out their post of ascending together, right? Of like, here's who we are, this is the schools we have versus the new Pac-12 conference. When they said, hey, that morning where they put everything out, this is who we are, 5.6 million views for the Pac-6 post of the Mountain West schools that are joining, plus Oregon State and Washington State.
Okay.
And then when the Mountain West said, hey, this is who we are, 94,000.
Wow. Yeah.
And so when we have these conversations and people going, oh, that brand's not, they're not going to double this in media rights deals. They're not going to get 10, 12 million. Well, I'm not too sure they're not going to have enough to where they're like, yeah, this was absolutely worth it for us.
The money's going to tell. But to your point, look, I'm TNT or I'm ESPN or I'm Fox or whomever, Apple, and I'm bidding on it. That's part of my evaluation, isn't it? The impressions, the branding, the interest, the what is the pack versus what is the Mountain West? And again, all the negativity coming from those fan bases who left isn't helping your brand either, because that's what people are reading about it, right? And as they're sitting there telling you how crappy you are, that's what people are reading if they read anything, because it's the Pac-12 people are reading it. The former Pac-12 people are getting those same posts as they've gone on to the Big 12 or the ACC or the Big 10. So the branding thing is really interesting to me. It was really interesting, and it's real. But that's the value of a legacy brand, and they are absolutely a legacy brand. All right, 505-246-0610. This was really interesting. Coming up next for Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt. They get Auburn next? No, they get Kentucky, and then they'll get Auburn later. It's interesting what some of the coaches are saying about in the SEC about the SEC Player of the Week from Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I've seen him now twice at Liberty and last year. The guy is just one of those freakish competitors, it seems, just watching him. I don't know him personally, but he is tough, a winner. All those attributes seem to describe him pretty well. He seems to rise to the occasion when he needs to, end quote. Fair? I mean, that guy's got to be going, damn, dude, how many places do I have to see him? Like, I can't get away from this guy. And he beats me every year, huh?
Yeah. Diego Pavia could end Hugh Freeze's coaching career.
Just like, seriously. If they beat him again, I mean, he can't be secure at Auburn. He can't be.
I go by the guy that's failed upward.
Hugh Freeze also got into a conversation about red shirts. Now, college is 4 years, theoretically. He thinks you should get rid of red shirts because you got the guys that are leaving after, the four-game rule and guys are taking red shirts. He thinks you should just give them 5 years to play 5 years. He says, why are we not? Well, because college is 4 years, and there's 4 years of eligibility, and you're freshman, sophomore, junior. But he wants to get rid of red shirts and just say you got 5 years to play with eligibility. You in favor of that?
No.
I'm not there either. But I'll get into more why he wants to do that. Lenny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Lenny.
Good morning. How you both doing?
Good. What's going on?
So I'll do a little baseball after we talk about the debacle as the New York Jets.
Okay.
Firing Saleh is not going to solve their problem.
I agree.
Okay, that should have been Nathaniel Hackett, because he's coaching and running the offense.
Yeah, but he's a made man.
I know. So right now, this is truly Rodgers' team, because the new coach for the rest of the season's not going to be calling offense. It's going to be Rodgers at the line calling every play.
I think it's probably been that way. I mean, Rodgers, don't you think?
It has been to a point, but now he has more. His gloves are off.
Okay.
He can do what he wants. And I wouldn't be surprised if you might even see a trade where you trade one distress asset for another, and you get rid of Hassan Reddick for Devontae Adams.
But yeah, the Raiders would have to commit to signing him, though, right?
Right, but they need defense, and just not worry about the offense this year. Their offense isn't doing anything.
Okay.
I mean, that's just one way for the Jets to try to recoup something. The Jets may have to give up a draft pick with it, but the Raiders may end up signing him. He would go good with Crosby and Wilkins on the line.
All right. I don't hate that.
And then now let's get into the upsets in the baseball playoffs. And how bad will it be for the Dodgers when they lose to the Padres?
Yeah. I think, I don't know if Dave Roberts eats it because of all the pitching that's been hurt, but it's just another year of getting to the same place and doing the same thing and spending a lot of money and losing to those guys. Yeah.
And same thing with the Mets. Both of those teams were not picked to make the playoffs.
Who was it? The Mets and the Padres?
Yeah.
The Padres weren't they? I mean, most places they were a wild card team, were they not?
Well, they were. I don't know, but I know the Mets weren't picked.
Yeah, no, the Mets were not.
But just to see both of them having the success they're having, I mean, yeah, the Mets have the highest payroll still in baseball, but that's because they're paying other players and other teams. But it'll just be nice to see the Dodgers just taken out.
A lot of people feel that
because
way.
I'm a Padre fan, but just to see the upset taking place when you spend all that money and you still can't get over the hump.
Yeah, it's something. And the pitching is real, but look, their lineup. If there's a lineup in baseball that goes head to head with them, it's the Padres lineup.
Oh no, it is, and it's gotten better since Tatis has gotten back, and they've had since they started out 50-50. They've had the second best record in baseball.
When did they get a rise? Was it this year, JJ? When did they get? It was this year, midseason. What a great trade that! What a great trade that was for them.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a well-coached, well-run organization. And their payroll came down.
Their payroll came down when they got rid of Soto.
Yeah,
and they got they got Michael King in that deal, right? They got a piece that they traded for Cease in that deal. I saw that whole thing come down yesterday. They got a lot back for Soto. I mean, you give up one of the best players in the game, but they got a lot back.
No, they did, but it was a good move for them, and I'm glad to see it. But the Dodgers always find a way to lose.
Yep. All right, man.
All right, you both have a good one.
See you. I think that's how any non-Dodger fan is feeling is good. Then you look at a team like the Tigers who's playing, right? And look at their payroll, and you're going, there's other ways to do it. I think a lot of people are glad.
Well, and it's not the Padres have made moves. Let's not act like they're some small market team not spending money. They have the 9th most active cash invested in their roster right now.
Yeah. But their payroll got cut when they got rid of Soto, right?
Well, they didn't not by
drastically.
Drastic, because Soto hasn't signed the $500 million deal yet.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. I got a lot. Let's go way back to September 3rd. I got a lot of emails from you. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com, and on the text line 505-246-0610. I asked you the question earlier, and I'll ask it again with a new audience as we flip it. Can Rodgers' stint as a Jet hurt his legacy overall? He's going to the Hall of Fame. I'm not telling you he's not going to the Hall of Fame, but can it hurt his legacy? Who's his comps? I mean, he's been comped in his era to Manning and Brady, but is he more so? And again, not a bad thing. Rivers and Stafford and probably Eli, right? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by United Way of North Central.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505 897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people.
To 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Game day, Aggies at Jacksonville State tonight. It's on your TV. It'll be a ESPN2 game. 5:30 is when they go. The baseball today, games 3 in the American League, games 4 in the National League. American League will be the Tigers and Guardians in Michigan and the Royals and Yankees in Kansas City. The National League game, the first one will be in New York and Queens. The Mets trying to close out the Phillies, and the late night, the Dodgers and Padres. Last night, San Diego beat LA 6-5. Mets beat the Phillies 7-2. So the 2 winners last night are up 2-1. That would be San Diego and New York. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. New Mexico United play tonight. They're looking to wrap up first place and home field throughout the Western Conference playoffs in the USL Championship. They will be out at the ball pitch against Phoenix Rising tonight. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. When's your first women's basketball game? Is it next week?
The 20th?
What day is today? 11, 10, 9? So they play in 11 days?
Yeah.
Your boy James is, I can't believe they're already practicing. I mean, what are they doing practicing 11 days before their games, JJ?
Trying to learn the plays.
Why are the Phillies already practicing, Jeff? They already suffered a potentially season-changing significant injury, and for what? We're still months away from real games. Sorry. I know you want me to...
I don't know if it's real anymore. I think it's just... It feels like a shtick.
Yep.
He knows, get under one of our skin at some point in time.
Yeah, is there already an injury there?
Clarissa Craig, their starting center, out for the season.
Ooh.
But luckily, they hit 2 in the transfer portal.
What
They
happened?
brought in Amaya Moreland, who is a veteran player that was at San Jose State the last 2 years, going to be their starting center. And Ulda Joaquim took big steps forward last year, so they have some depth, even losing the transfer from Cincinnati. Yeah, it's a bummer that it happens before the season.
What happened to the season-ending injury? Okay. Carl says Bronco mercenary sends him, right, Jeff? It tells Air Force, catch us if you can. And with the Flyboys struggle on offense, I'm not sure they can. Telling you what, man, this is a really good spot for Lobo football on Saturday. You've got an Air Force team that is struggling to find points, that is giving up some points. You score points. You get an opportunity to string a couple in a row together here. I mean, how would Lobo fan feel if they catch one this weekend and, dare I say, I mean, I don't know, is 2 a streak?
Yes.
But string 2 together, go 1-1 in conference, and the next one would be on the road at a Utah State team who is also gettable at 1-4. And I don't know, can there be some back end of the season excitement?
Yes, this is what we were waiting for. Just saying, hang in there, hang on. Guess what? The Mountain West is a mess right now.
Not just the brand?
The teams at the top, pretty good. Everyone else is fighting to survive.
Well, and the thing is, the teams at the top right now are Boise State, Fresno State, UNLV, and San Jose State.
It ain't San Jose State, Jeff.
You just don't think they're any good?
They just lost to Nevada.
They beat Nevada. Didn't they? I'm fairly certain they beat them.
I could just be misremembering.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was a close game, but San Jose State is 2-0 in league.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't think they're in that group.
Okay. I think they're separate from the rest. But my point being, you don't play any of them.
That's all that matters.
You don't play any of them. You had Fresno, right, and they beat you, but you don't have UNLV, Boise State, or San Jose State on your schedule. Like you avoided all of them. Now you got Washington State, but the crossover games against the Pac-2 teams, those do not count against your conference schedule, correct? So really, you're only playing 7 conference games, right? I mean, you caught a huge break in the schedule this year.
Yes, and they have a chance in every game they play. I think the one where you'd say, all right, it could be more of an uphill battle is Washington State.
Yep.
But you get to that point in the season, if you're able to build momentum.
Who knows?
I like the Lobos this weekend. I think that Air Force is going to pop off some big plays because I just don't think that defense is going to do much this year for the Lobos, but this would be an opportunity to gain confidence. But guess what? We said the same thing about New Mexico State, and they put up 40 points.
Yeah, they did. And so you're worried about your defense. Let me ask you this, and I'm not telling you this is going to happen. So the next 5, Air Force, Utah State, Colorado State, Wyoming, and San Diego State. All of them are struggling. Probably the best team out of those is Colorado State, right? What if they win 4 or 5? And you go into the Washington State game at 5-5. Is there some excitement around here? With 2 left?
There better be.
To win one more?
There better be.
With
the people that are upset about what has happened with the Mountain West Conference, where the Lobos are, and if that team has 5 wins, heading into whether it's the Washington State game or the last game of the season
at Hawaii, which would, I mean,
there better be people rallying around football.
If you go into that Hawaii game at 5-6 with a chance to get bowl eligible, I mean,
we're staying up late having a party.
9 o'clock start.
10 o'clock start.
10 o'clock?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, you're damn right you know about that. There might be some bowl people who would be interested in that too, right? I mean, I'm just saying. Who knows? Get there first. You can't win 5 before you win 2, right? You got to get there first. But it'll be interesting to see. You got opportunities. Bruce says, we talked about Tony the Tiger, Jeff. Aggies get blued out tonight, right? Did Jason and Jerome's guys win another one in 2024? Maybe November 30th against struggling UTEP. Notice how the NMSU is now a football school talk has stopped. It's from Bruce. Yeah, look, when you're 1-4, you kind of stop talking, don't you? When you're 1-4 and you were talking at your rival because you beat them the last couple of years and then you lose to them, you kind of stop talking, don't you? Yeah.
It's interesting how Vanderbilt is now a football school.
They're the de facto Aggies. I mean, literally, Aggie fan are all Vanderbilt fans. Oh, that's our guys. Well, they were. Yeah, no, they were your guys. You graduated them up. Yeah, they were your guys. Look, there's winnable games. I'll tell you what. FIU looked nice. Did you catch? I flipped over. FIU took Liberty to overtime last night. Liberty beat them in overtime, so Liberty stays undefeated in Conference USA and still is in line now for that college football playoff berth. But FIU took them. It was in Lynchburg. Took them to overtime. Liberty scored on the top of the inning, and then FIU, the kid was going to throw and got hit blindside. Man, the blitzing corner from the far side came in and hit him, and ball game, and Liberty escapes in overtime. I still believe a one-loss Boise State, with their one loss being on a last-second field goal at Oregon, will remain higher ranked than an undefeated Liberty, because Liberty has struggled both with New Mexico State, who's 1-4, and now with FIU. And you just start looking at it and you say, all right, who is Liberty beaten? And
part of it, isn't there eye test involved?
Well, there should be. And that's what I'm saying.
Watching the games. Like Liberty, you tip your cap. They're 5-0.
Yeah.
They're not as good as Boise State. You put those two teams on the field, Boise State's blowing them out of the
Yeah, just like what happened last year. It's not even arguable. And that's why you look at the rankings, and I understand they're not the college football playoff rankings, but if you look at the rankings, that's why Boise State is in the polls and Liberty is not. And look, can Liberty run the table? I mean, who's going to beat them? They got Jacksonville State in a couple of weeks. They get Kennesaw next week. Their non-conference this year was Campbell, East Carolina, and App State. I mean,
And the App State game got canceled.
They play UMass. Boise State played at Georgia Southern. They played Washington State. They played at Oregon. I mean, come on. Right? I mean, we're not really having an argument, are we? Well, they're undefeated, Jeff. They beat everybody. You only play who's on your schedule. Yeah, but you make your schedule. You make your non-conference schedule. Wow, but you never know how good a team's going to be. Yeah, you know the difference between UMass, East Carolina, Appalachian State, and Campbell, as opposed to Washington State, Oregon, on the road to Georgia Southern. So, 505-246-0610. Hey, the Albuquerque Convention Center is the spot to host an event. I mean, whether the event's big, gala big, like grande gala big, convention big, holiday party big, meeting big, whatever it is, it's the Albuquerque Convention Center with over 600,000 square feet, a beautiful, diverse meeting space, an incredible, talented staff, and an exquisite, exotic menu. They will take care of whatever it is you're looking to do. Holiday parties are being planned now. If you're in charge of that, can I really strongly suggest getting online, taking a look at the Albuquerque Convention Center, and then calling them and booking your spot? They've got parking available, easy access in and out in the heart of downtown. Just be at the center of it all. That's why every year the Isleta New Mexico Bowl hosts teams at the Albuquerque Convention Center. They take care of our student athletes. They take care of our guests. I'm in the hospitality business, man, but I got to rely on people who are going to do it the right way. They do it the right way every year. You've been to your events there. You've been to galas, whether it's meetings, whether it's receptions, whatever. You get it. Albuquerque Convention Center's versatile space will accommodate every size and style, anything imaginable, everything you need. So book your dream event and be at the center of it all. Visit albuquerquecc.com for more information. That's albuquerquecc.com, or give them a call at 505-768-4575. That's 505-768-4575.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Next in line
Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Has this been the quietest, longest? Like the AD search. Jeff Grammer wrote a story how the Parker firm is heading up the AD search, and that's nothing unusual, and that's how these things are done. And they help narrow down. They do background checks, a lot of things that maybe you're not equipped to do, and it's just the way things are done now. You use these firms to do these searches. But JJ, it doesn't feel like it's been a long, long time, and you've heard nothing about it, and with so much going on at such a vital time, you haven't heard candidates. The job just got posted. the AD search has been, I'm looking for the right word, eerily quiet.
It's been quiet, but I also wonder what people think was going to happen, that you're going to magically sign an AD within 2 weeks and
like you do
that's
a coach?
going to get you in the Pac-12. Like, there was a lot of stuff that was going on at this time.
Yeah. But Gene, whoever the AD is, one of the things that he or she will not be able to control is what you want them to, what's most important to you. Two things the new AD immediately has to fix, Jeff, and it shouldn't cost tons of George Washies. Post times and TV. If Lobos football is going to play at 5 p.m. on True TV, then let's play every game at 5 p.m. on True TV. That way, at the beginning of the season, fans can make one schedule and be able to follow every Saturday knowing that that game is, where it is when. Instead of 15 packages, you can call your provider, ask for the one that carries True TV with peace of mind. You won't miss a game. Yeah, it's not within the athletic director's prowess. You're going to play games out of conference that there's a different television rights. Like, as much as that would be your ideal world, and I get it. And by the way, it never was that way. Even back in the glory days when it was on tape delayed on KGGM after the news, late night. The road games, it was never always at the same time on the same network. It never was and never will be. And by the way, what is? Is your high school basketball games the same place, the same? They're not. They're different times. I get it. But, and that's another one. I don't know if it's just to get under your skin or if he really believes that. But it's just not something that is within the prowess of your athletic director. You can blame your AD all you want. You just got to try to understand the way the system is. You don't have to like it, but that's not something that's within the power of the athletic director at the institution. Rod says, out of sight, out of mind, Jefferson. After watching a great game Saturday, in the back of your mind, it's like, where's Lobo football? The contest last week wasn't on TV. That's because there wasn't one. Then an awkward bye week. It feels like Lobo football isn't part of the CFP or college football landscape right now. The new AD has to get this figured out. They just have to.
That's the same person.
This one's from Rod. Different email address. Because right now it feels like the season's over regardless of the record going to Cougar. So they shouldn't have buys? And by the way, I watched the game in freaking Michigan. You couldn't get it?
Because it was ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus? All right. And that, again, the AD is not going to have control over television, let alone of home games, but sure as hell not of road games. And, I mean, Michigan's got to bye this week. Are they out of sight, out of mind? You're shaking your head, as am I. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, paint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView.
Stuff going on, man. Locally, nationally, it's your sports equinox. The National Hockey League season faced off last night. Got a couple of games. Seattle played. The Utah Hockey Club is a thing. They beat the Chicago Blackhawks 5-2. Baseball last night, Dodgers lose to the Padres. A crazy third inning for San Diego, where they just, paper cutted you to death. And then Dodgers get a Teoscar Hernandez grand slam to get to within 1. It was 6-5 after 3.5, and that's how it ended. So the Padres can eliminate the Dodgers tonight. Mets beat the Phillies 7-2. Mets can get rid of Philly today. Yeah, this afternoon you get Tigers and Guardians in Michigan. You get the Royals and Yankees in Missouri, and then the National League games, the Mets and Phillies in the afternoon in New York. And Dodgers and Padres will be your nightcap. United's at it tonight out at the ball pitch. They will play Phoenix Rising. A win will secure the home field advantage throughout the Western Conference playoffs for New Mexico United. And the Aggies are on the road tonight. College football over on your ESPN2. They are 20.5-point underdogs, Conference USA game on the road against the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Lots going on. I've asked you the question today. With the Jet stuff and what's going on with Rodgers and Robert Saleh getting fired, and the reports coming out that Saleh wanted to demote or, change the role of Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator, who is the made man of Aaron Rodgers. Will this stint, will the Jets' career of Aaron Rodgers, will that taint his legacy when it's all said and done, do you feel? How do you look at him? Who's his peers? When it's all said and done, will you compare him, quarterbacks of this era, of his era, will it be more Manning and Brady, or will it be more Rivers and Stafford and Eli? Eli won 2, Roethlisberger won 2, Manning won, 7? Eli did. Well, Eli won 2, Peyton won 2, Brady won 7. The off-field stuff, whether it's the ayahuasca stuff or whatever that is, or more so, never was able to get along with a coach. Are coaches better with or without Aaron Rodgers. We've made a career of saying, JJ, no great coach. There's no great coaches without great players. That's true. But I don't. So all great coaches have great players. Do all great players have great coaches?
No.
Yeah. And Matt LaFleur, was he a better coach theoretically, with or without Aaron Rodgers? Seems like he's doing pretty damn well without him, right?
That shows you how good he is.
Mm-hmm. Was McCarthy better? McCarthy wins a lot of games. And he's got Dak Prescott. He's got good players. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Edward.
And that's such a great question. We had such beautiful weather in October. It's amazing.
Yes, we did.
I think Rodgers is a top 5 quarterback all time.
Really?
Now, Mahomes steadily is already a top 5 quarterback in NFL history, in my opinion. But I would say that Rodgers' career is very similar to Peyton Manning's. Rodgers is a 4-time NFL MVP. Manning's a 5-time NFL MVP. And I know Manning won 2 Super Bowls, but really the defense, the no-fly zone, they basically carried him that entire year when they won it, and that's okay. That happens.
Which Manning? Are we talking about Peyton or Eli?
Peyton.
So you think Rodgers was a better quarterback than Peyton?
I think their careers are very similar.
Yeah.
Very, very similar. Peyton, if you recall, had several first-round exits, I think 9, when they were the favorites.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And that Denver defense was amazing, and they delivered the championship that one year in 2015, I believe. So, as a 4-time NFL MVP, McCarthy, the Cowboys got no shot at winning the Super Bowl. Let's be honest. They got no shot. Unless everybody gets hurt like last year, and then maybe they can win a couple of playoff games. But McCarthy won that championship on the shoulders of Rodgers. Make no mistake. But I did want to call briefly about, first of all, the Dodgers, if they lose tonight, they basically have an all-star team batting lineup. If they lose to the Padres, that's a complete disaster, in my opinion. But earlier this week, you framed the question very well about Pavia, and thanks for the interview. And with the hubris of UNM fans, right, the hubris of the defeated, I know they'll never forgive him. But something you said yesterday, Jeff, resonated with me. Urlacher was amazing. We went through a list of people, and obviously the older gentleman that won a national championship and played at the NFL for the Eagles.
Tommy McDonald.
Tommy McDonald, he's the best. I mean, there's no argument. But you said yesterday, at no point in Urlacher's collegiate career or any of the other players, and the gentleman that went to Siebel, who I rooted for, that won
Alan
2
Branch.
championships with the Patriots,
Alan Branch.
did the sports world stop and recognize the achievements of an individual from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the college football world stopped when Pavia delivered that championship or that win last week. Let me say also this. New Mexico State, he delivered the greatest win in the history of their program last year when they went to Auburn. And UNM, and I'm not blasting the program, right? I'm just stating facts. They've never had a win as big as beating the number 1 team in the country in the SEC. So he's delivered 2 of the biggest wins that the 2 biggest wins you'll ever see for Vanderbilt and New Mexico State.
And let me throw one more at you. And Nimi matters. Like I know it's a junior college in Roswell, New Mexico. He won a national championship there. He's a legend at 3 places.
And Jeff, let me just say this. I know what he did here, and it's well documented.
Yeah.
People make mistakes. Take a look at their own lives when you were 18, 19, 20 years old. And yes, he's never come back and fully apologized, but people make mistakes. I myself, I'm celebrating his success. And that interview, when they ride off the field, that was amazing, right? That was thrilling to see. So I thought I'd share that. And I appreciate you letting me share my thoughts.
No, I appreciate you. We had a really good conversation yesterday, I thought. And if you weren't with us, I'll bring you up to speed. And if you were, you took part in it. The question is not, is Diego the best player to ever come out of New Mexico? Tommy McDonald was great. Brian Urlacher was great. Hank Baskett was really good. They all went pro. The question yesterday, JJ, we had was, what New Mexico player, born in, grew up in New Mexico, he didn't even have to be born here, just came, from New Mexico, has had the best college football career? right? Tommy McDonald was amazing in the mid-'50s. 2 national championships, I believe, and All-America. Like, that's probably the winner, okay? But after that, Bobby Newcomb had a really good career, won a national championship at Nebraska, was a quarterback there, then played flanker, then got to the NFL. But this isn't about the NFL. This is about college football. What New Mexico player had the best college career? Brian's was great, right? Jim Everett at Purdue was really, 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 really good. I think there's an argument to be made, and whether you like him or you don't, that Diego Pavia, when it's all said and done, outside of Tommy McDonald, may have the best college career of any New Mexican football player. He's a legend at 3 schools now. And Vanderbilt, it took him 5 games to become a freaking legend. By the way, did you see what they're doing with the goalpost? It's brilliant. So the fire department fished the goalpost out of the river. They're cutting it up into pieces, and they're selling it off to pay for their $100,000 fine that they have to pay to Alabama.
Love it.
Yes.
I'd want a piece of that goalpost.
People are buying it. They're sold out. Like, you could buy a 4-inch piece or an 8-inch piece.
Where did dumping it into the river come from?
So I think that happened at Tennessee one time. I think. I don't know that for sure. But I don't know. What do you do with it? Okay, we got it down Broadway. Like, have you ever been in Nashville? You come down Broadway and you literally go, there's about a 5-block area from Bridgestone Arena down to the river where it's all honky tonks. That's where the bars are. That's like the spot, right?
Well, you got to do something with it. I just think it's interesting that after all that, they're like,
all right,
go in the river.
All right, well, we can't march anymore, and we're sure as hell not taking it back up the hill.
We're not taking it back.
Yeah, it's one thing coming down the hill. We're not going. All right, let's dump in the damn river. Yeah, I don't know.
Vanderbilt Tea Party.
Yeah. But that was the conversation. I know I came in this morning and I got an email from yesterday. It said, it was from Mike. This was actually really good. He says, I'm traveling on a cruise ship back from Japan. How about this, dude? I'm traveling on a cruise ship back from Japan and caught a little of your discussion. Thank you for listening to us on a cruise ship back from Japan about the best New Mexico college player. I didn't hear anybody mention Chris Williams. I may be wrong, but I believe he's the only player from New Mexico to lead in a statistical category, yards receiving, in his junior year, I believe. I could have the year wrong. Little known fact, he was born in Texas. I'm living in Casa Grande. It's called Casa Grande, or Casa Grande is how they say it. Casa Grande, Arizona. But miss Albuquerque every day. Will call when I come to town next. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. It's actually really good. Chris Williams from Rio Rancho played for New Mexico State and did lead the nation in receiving yards. I believe it was his junior year as well. Went on to have he spent some time in the NFL, had a good career in the Canadian Football League. Good career, not this. Like, good career, but not this.
Got to throw a D-Train in there.
Yeah, Dontrell. That's really fair. I think that's really fair. You want me to take this? You want me to go to where you want me to go? Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
Good morning. Couple of things. The Dodgers, that's my team. I grew up with the Dodgers. Dodger Town. It's always been Dodger Town.
Yeah.
But you can't discount the injury factor. They have not had a starting rotation of pitching consistent throughout the whole year. The fact that they even made the playoffs with all the injuries on the pitching staff is pretty remarkable. And I don't know what they can do to get Mookie Betts out of his funk. I didn't watch the game last night.
He had 2 hits last night and a home run last night.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad he finally relaxed and started hitting the ball. So that's good news, and maybe they can get it done tonight. But I don't take anything away from the fact that Roberts has done a great job managing with all those injuries. I don't know how many other major league teams would have made the playoffs with those many injuries and that much juggling of your pitching staff. With all due respect to Edward, the greatest victory in the history of New Mexico football sports was when UNM defeated number 9 and undefeated, nationally ranked Utah right here in Albuquerque, tore the goalpost down, marched them up and down Central. So I know that UNM football is the redheaded stepchild of the sports world here in Albuquerque, but someday that needs to stop. And I'm really kind of bugged and tired of people thinking that UNM has no good history in football. if we want to discuss it, I've got many more games that we can talk about, So I just think that's revisionist history, Edward, to do that, and it really kind of bugs me. Maybe you could get out to the game this weekend against Air Force and try to get those stands packed with fans. That would make a big difference, Jeff. If there isn't just 17,000 people there, and of course maybe there'll be more because Air Force brings their fans.
Yeah.
But there's plenty to look forward to in Lobo football, and Bronco's going to get the job done, and you're going to see a win this weekend. I really have high confidence in Bronco and what's going on at New Mexico, and I really think that this is an Air Force team that just is not going to be able to stay on the field with New Mexico. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think I will be.
Appreciate you. No, thanks. So did Edward say the biggest win in New Mexico State history, right, football history, was beating Auburn? I don't think there was any disrespect to UNM. I think he was talking about, he said the biggest win in the history of New Mexico State was when they beat Auburn. And then what Diego did this weekend, I mean, even when New Mexico beat Utah.
I think part of the conversation is biggest win ever in the state.
Okay.
Not just New Mexico State.
All right. Well, then we got a lot to talk about. I don't know that was, okay. I'll listen to what Rudy said about that. Yeah, that was a bigger win than beating an unranked Auburn team. Yeah. Beating number 8. Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's continue this on the other side because we're super late for this break. Keep them coming. It's a great conversation on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Let's paint the town cherry this.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone.
460-610. Harold says, reply to Rudy, Jeff, the other part of that story of beating number 9 Utah, which he never mentions, was losing the following week at 7,200 to pedestrian Wyoming club when Ryan Christopherson went nuts. Okay, but it was still a big win. I don't know. I mean, when you beat the 9th-ranked team of the country, and I don't know, do you have to validate it the next week with a win? I mean, it helps. You still won the game, right? What did New Mexico State do the week after they beat Auburn? They beat Jacksonville State the next week and then lost their last 2. They lost Conference USA Championship game and then they lost the bowl game. Does that devalue what
year
they
was
won?
that UNM game?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Larry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Larry.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Thanks for taking the call. Calling from time to time. New Mexican, UNLV alum, and with what's going on with the conference realignment and stuff, my heart's broken, man. I hate to see those schools leave, and I don't even want UNLV to leave the Mountain West, but I guess that's the conversation that's maybe going to talk. But I wanted to talk about this weekend's game against Air Force. Maybe a would-be fan that would be listening. We talk about the Isotopes being the best ticket in the game, and I've called in a few times. I called in one time, Lobo. They flew the flag with the helicopter, and it was just a really amazing experience to start the game. And UNM, I really believe that they are trying, and I think with Coach Bronco Mendenhall, he's really trying to put together a program. And I think with Air Force coming to town, I would tell the fan that's wanting to know if the Lobo games are worth it, that this is the weekend to get out and go check it out. Air Force shows up, and their fans are awesome. They travel well. It's college football, so there's like a lot of, maybe because it's the Air Force Academy, there's a lot of patriotism. Their drum line will show up, and they'll march UNM parking lot right there by the stadium. And it's a heck of a rad experience, man, just to watch this drum line, this Air Force drum line just offer a gift to UNM. And, man, it's just a really awesome experience. And I think that the Lobos really have an opportunity to put some points on the board. I just got back from elk hunting last night, and I told my wife, I said, we got to go to the Lobo game. And she's like, well, who are they playing? I said, Air Force. And she's like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Nice.
So I would tell the would-be fan or the fan that's just kind of on the fence wanting to know if it should go, UNM tickets are so affordable. It's a great experience. Go support the football team. Go support some of the local vendors and have a piece of pizza, have some nacho fries, and just get out and support these guys, man. UNLV, and I'm going for UNM. So anyway, thanks for taking my call, fellas.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And I don't know that Air Force is bringing their band or not this to a conference road game. I know it all varies, but look, I don't know what you're doing Saturday late afternoon. Maybe you're going to Fiesta, whatever you're doing. I enjoy going. You enjoy going. I'm beyond telling people what to do. Way, way, way beyond. Well, I suggest it's a good experience. Yeah, but playing Air Force is fun. You got an opportunity to do something good with your football team. Winning's fun. You got great opportunities, but it's more and more of what you can go out and do. Who is Tommy McDonald, this says? I mean, I kind of went through that yesterday, didn't I? I'll get you the whole. I want to make sure I get the resume right when we talk about this. But here, let me give this to you. Tommy McDonald from Roy, New Mexico, played at Highland High School. Two-time national champion at Oklahoma, 1955 and 56, won the Maxwell Award in 56. Sporting News College Player of the Year in 1956, Consensus All-America in 1956, First Team All-America in 1955, two-time First Team All-Big Seven in 1955 and 56. To the texter, that's who he is. And look, I'm not mad at you for not knowing who that is, dude in the 50s. And if even if you're from here, you may not have heard of Tommy McDonald. But yeah, I mean that's a hard resume to argue against, right?
It's pretty good.
I never saw him play, but boy, I heard great things about him, and that's a hell of a resume. All right, 505-246-0610. Gents, the NOTA event at Twin Warriors looked amazing on TV. Some out-of-town friends came home as I was watching yesterday, and they couldn't stop watching and complimenting the views in the event. I've always been a big fan of NOTA. Want to thank him for the great event. Great golf course if you play. Great show and great job from Steve. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, it looked good on TV. Look, that event's special, and I'm so stoked for NOTA to put that together. And it's great college golf out there. It's great for our town. It's just another event that you can go out and see, and great things that are going on. Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Marty.
Morning, fellas.
Morning.
A little down on my Dodgers there.
Yeah.
Is this a Dave Roberts thing? I don't know. I keep hearing that the manager has nothing to do with baseball, and I mean they do to some extent, but it's analytics, and you have to wonder though. At some point, you got to make a change if it doesn't work out. I mean, you have such great regular seasons, and then it comes down to the postseason, and a la Bobby Cox here.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. You got to be healthy, man, and their pitching is. I mean, look what they're running out there. I don't think there's nothing to the issue in regards to the injuries in their pitching.
No, and I kind of felt that maybe they should have put Ohtani as a pitcher just for the postseason.
Interesting.
I felt like that would have been a really good move. I know that they were really dead set on not doing that, but I just felt to make a postseason run, you and me only get this one opportunity.
You may.
And if you don't believe me, I mean, it took them 30-some years to get back to winning the World Series. So
you may.
Yeah, it's like the Chiefs, man. You got to go for the three-peat. If not, you think it's going to always be there? I mean, Kelsey's already looking old, and I mean, so you got to. To me, you got to go all in, Jerry Jones. You got to go all in. But I don't know, man. But that conversation. I used to be an avid caller. I used to hear me. I used to get upset about the fans, but I just think we have a fair-weathered fan base here. I think it's whatever is hot, they'll do it. If it's not Phoenix-like. If you guys have ever spent time in Phoenix, I think they have. Look at what happened with the Coyotes. I think they're very similar. Maybe it's just a Southwest thing. I don't know. But it's, people rooting for this. I wear a Ohio State jersey at the Lobo game, or I'll wear my Dallas Cowboy cap at the Lobo game. It's that kind of fan base, and I just have kind of given up on it there. I support it. I do all I can do, and that's all that really matters.
That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. All right. I appreciate you.
All right.
There's going to be this. Look, this could start as early as tomorrow morning, and I think it's already started. If the Dodgers get beat, is it on Dave Roberts?
No.
I think
I get it. You have the biggest payroll in sport, right?
Yeah.
But if dudes are hurt, you can't just keep buying quality replacements in the second half of the season. They have the worst ERA in the playoffs, and how's that on Dave Roberts right now? Like, he can work with what he has available.
Yeah. Players make plays, man. And if guys aren't available, again.
Like, you have to be held accountable when you have that much money invested. But sometimes it's not excuses. There's an explanation. And there's an explanation to why the Dodgers pitching is what it is right now. And it's injuries. And I'm not a Dodgers fan, but I just think sometimes, like, what do you want the next manager to do if he was in this exact situation? What would he be doing different right now that Dave Roberts isn't doing with this roster of available pitchers.
So what Marty just said is he would have, and I'm not sure I'm there, he wanted to see Ohtani pitch. Ohtani's coming back.
He hasn't thrown.
Right, he hasn't pitched. Like, why would we think that he would automatically go out there?
This is your investment for the next however many years. Right?
Why would you think he would automatically go out there? And the argument is it's got to be better than what you're putting out there. And I
but
hear
not if
the argument.
He's coming off elbow surgery.
Yes.
If he's not throwing, not building it up, you want to keep that hope open that he can be that guy next year, not just now. And guess what? I'm going to believe the Dodgers are going to have a couple more postseason opportunities. I'm not playing that game where you just never know.
Well, you don't. I mean,
it's the Dodgers. They're going to invest. They're going to get more opportunities. This one, they just happen to be piled on with
a lot
pitching injuries.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah.
Like sometimes it's not excuses, there's an explanation to it. But when you have the expectations of the money, etc., like someone's going to have to take a hit. But you can look at this and just say, all right, who do you think is the best manager in baseball right now? Put him in this situation. Is that pitching staff better?
Who's the best manager in baseball right now?
Like it is managing a regular season when you're playing clubs that are worse than you, getting to 98 wins. It's different than hyper-focused on a Padres team that is not less talented than the Dodgers, that has marquee names
and is healthy,
position for positions,
and they're
that
healthy,
spends money,
and they're healthy.
Like this isn't a shock. This is not the worst failure in sports.
But because it's happened a number of times, that's where. And that's
you're not winning a championship every year.
Yeah, but if you've only won one in that COVID year. This whole run, that's where Marty's coming from.
Then tell me what manager with Walker Buehler's been hurt all year. He hasn't been that guy. Came out, got beat up yesterday. Yamamoto's been an underwhelming signing.
That's right. No,
Glasnow's out. And you're not even getting. You can't get anything from Kershaw.
And I don't think the answer is we're going to go out and throw Ohtani and he hasn't thrown all year. Somehow he's going to be the dude. All right, 505-246-0610. I got a little breaking news for you. Injury-wise, big name in the National Football League. Give you that when we come back and what it's going to mean. You know that property crime's on the rise. You know that the officer shortage is real. You know that there's a need for added security. And that's why I introduce you on a daily basis to IPS, International Protective Service. It is affordable private security, and they watch my home. And they have for years. I've trusted them for a long, long time. Businesses all around Albuquerque, homeowners all around Albuquerque and Santa Fe trust International Protective Service. They watch your home. They'll install alarms, camera systems. They got state-of-the-art facilities to monitor those cameras 24/7. It raises the level of security around your home and business. So the question is, who's watching your home when you're not there? And hopefully the answer is it's the good guys and not the bad guys. A quick response to your alarm, standing guards at your business. That's what IPS does. You sleep better at night. I understand you can't prevent all the crime. But if you've got no protection, you're more likely to be victimized. Call IPS. Protect what you've worked hard to build. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Jeff, wouldn't it be ironic if 5 and 6 Lobo football goes into the Sandwich Islands needing a win to get into your game, and of course it's not on TV? I'm not aware of any provider in New Mexico that carries Spectrum regardless of how much money you pay. That'd be an issue. Yeah, that one's a hard one to get. The Hawaii broadcast. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, man. Lifelong Dodger fan. In fact, my wife was critiquing me this morning because I'm in a bad mood because, it doesn't look very good. And again, I always talk about this irrational attachment that we fans have for our teams. I mean, do I really know anything about Dak Prescott or Clayton Kershaw? They don't even know I exist, but, we just have these really odd attachments to these teams, and part of it is, I grew up with the Albuquerque Dukes, the AA Dodgers in the late 60s, so my whole life, we had this relationship with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So anyway, just wanted to remind everyone the series isn't over. I remind folks that anything could happen in a short series, and it's usually about pitching, which, the Dodgers have been devastated, and streak hitting. So look at the Diamondbacks last year. They were like one of the last wild card teams in baseball.
Yep.
And they went on a streak and went to the World Series and comported themselves well. And also, Roberts has nothing to do. He's not the dominant reason the Dodgers are down 2-1. And also, I don't think if the Dodgers do not succeed, that it's devastating. I do think it would be a significant disappointment, but it's not devastation. I think JJ made a number of points that, they've had some key injuries, particularly the pitching staff. They lost Glasgow and some other factors there.
May,
but the season's not
Kershaw.
over, the series isn't over, and go Dodgers.
No, appreciate it. That's a great call. Yeah, it's. I mean, go down the list with Gonsolin, right?
This is one where you can ask for changes all you want. If you're a Dodgers fan, you're like, we're paying all this money, we're not winning. This is, to me, a strictly injuries. The team shows up every day. They obviously respond to Dave Roberts. You're not questioning star players and their attitudes and their performance. Like, you have Freddie Freeman, who can't walk, still out there battling, got on base late in the game at least, had that single pinch runner. Like, his team plays for him. And you can really point this directly to the pitching injuries. They have the worst ERA in the playoffs. It's over 7.
And that's
how is
because
another
they're hurt.
manager changing that?
Well, I'm not arguing with you.
Like, this one to me is pretty simple. Were you going to be disappointed? Yes. Is it an absolute failure? No, because that's discrediting how good the Padres are. They're a year late. They were down last year, but the hype train was through the roof for the Padres. And they have the same players, and they're better this year. Just because the hype train wasn't the same way it was last year doesn't mean they're not a good baseball team.
505-246-0610 if you want to get in on that. All right, I'll hit this. Well, there are a couple of these. All right, let me give you 2. Yeah, I just hit you this one. No, this one. Harold is in on this, and this is going to be about the San Jose State volleyball team with the transgender athlete. 4 schools have opted to not play, to forfeit their game against San Jose State. Southern Utah, Utah State, Wyoming, and Boise State did not play. They will forfeit. Last night, the University of New Mexico said it will play their upcoming volleyball game next week against San Jose State. San Jose State had its 4th game canceled for reasons that haven't been publicly specified, but you understand why. UNM said that the Lobos will play the match. That's it. There's no here's why. And I don't know that they need to give a reason why, or why not for that matter. They've got a game scheduled they're going to play. Harold says really disappointed in Coach Tom Paul Glazer, or not really his name, and even more in the silence of Gloria Navarez. You can't have some teams playing San Jose State and some not. Either you suspend the questionable volleyball player or tell the boycotting teams they have it to play or they don't get to go to Vegas. You can't have everyone doing their own thing. It's highly imperfect. What is it you would suspend the player for? The way the rules are right now, the way the rules are written, the way both the NCAA and the Mountain West Conference rules are, what is it you're suspending the player for? Now, you may have your opinion on and I think we all do, on whether or not a transgender athlete, a male who is a biological male playing women's sports. I mean, you know where I stand. You know where JJ stands. But there's no rule as we sit here today against it. I know they're afraid of litigation.
Do we know for sure, by the way? Because there's questions, there's allegations.
So I think we do.
And that needs to be addressed.
I know, and I've asked that question a lot. I believe the answer is yes. Where it really came out was, right, a player on the team, San Jose State's team, filed suit against San Jose State because she did not know that her roommate/teammate was transgender. She was not told that, and I mean, again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know civil rights laws, privacy laws. I don't know what you have to disclose to people about another. I don't know the answer. I know what I think should be done, but I don't know what legally is right. But what is it you want Gloria or the league to do, Harold? How do you demand Utah State, Boise State? They haven't said this is why they're not playing. They just said we're not playing. And we know why. All right, if you forfeit a game, you don't get to go to the conference tournament. Is that's what he said that he wants? How do you think we do it? New Mexico's opted to play. Now, I don't know how the decision was gotten. I'm going to guess the team got together and said, do we want to play? Right? 505-246-0610. This is a big issue. It's been a big issue for a long time. And it's surfaced in the Mountain West Conference. But the University of New Mexico said last night that they will play the game. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. We'll wrap it up when we get back, give you the stuff that you need to know as you go through the day. It's a big, big day. And we'll get to everything for you when we return.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now.
I say there's a lot going on. News-wise this morning, Nico Collins of the Texans got put on the injured reserve list. He'll be out for at least 4 weeks. Dodgers lose to the Padres last night 6-5. San Diego can close it out tonight in locale. Mets beat the Phillies 7-2. New York can close it out in Queens today. You get baseball all day. Cleveland and Detroit starts at 1:08. 3:08 Philly and the Mets. 5:08 Yankees in Kansas City, and 7:07. No, I'm kidding. 7:08. Dodgers in San Diego. New Mexico United is home tonight. They will play Phoenix Rising out at the ball pitch. 7 o'clock. If New Mexico wins, they will wrap up home field advantage throughout the Western Conference playoffs. And the Aggies are on the road college football in Jacksonville, Alabama on ESPN2. 5:30 start. New Mexico State is a 20.5-point underdog to Rich Rod on the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State. 505-246-0610 is the number to get in. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Bob, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Hey, Bob.
Hey, how you doing?
Life's grooving.
Listen to you guys a lot, call occasionally, but just wanted to give my take on the Air Force Lobo game Saturday. Yeah. This is not the same Air Force team that Lobo fans are used to seeing.
Correct.
We got decimated. It's been well documented. 22 seniors graduated. We have 2 of them playing in the NFL, but we just cannot move the ball. I am stunned that the Lobos are only a 6.5-point favorite. I think our defense at times has been good. We had 3 turnovers against Baylor in the first half, and then we wore down. But I think if the Lobos take care of the ball, it'll be close in the first half, but I'm thinking somewhere around 31-13 or so is my prediction, Lobos.
All right. Yeah, it's a different Air Force team than we're used to, that's for sure. Appreciate you, Bob. Don't be a stranger. Thanks. Lobos are 1-4, our favorite. Been a minute. When was the last time Lobos were favored? I guess last week, huh? 2 weeks ago? They were favored over New Mexico State?
Yes, they were.
Mm. So people, it's kind of goes to, I remember Monday at the press conference, I asked a question to Bronco that I didn't ask him on our show because he had said that the coaches were out recruiting, and I asked him, how's the response been from student athletes who you are recruiting, and have you noticed a difference, in the last 6 months? And he said, people are noticing what we're doing and how we're playing. He said there was, and Sean Ryder used that quote in his story. He says, people, there's a good reaction to me, he said, being the head coach, and to what our staff is doing. And it almost feels like the odds makers are seeing that a little bit too. Now, granted, you're playing a New Mexico State team who couldn't move the football and put 40 points on you, and a lot of them were at the end of the game. And an Air Force team is struggling moving the football. But does it feel like people are kind of seeing...
The odds makers are never going to be in their feelings.
No, but
they're gonna...
I'm not saying in their feelings. Noticing that there is something there.
Yeah, they're better. Like, offensively, you saw they were double-digit underdogs. In the season opener, Arizona, Auburn.
Yeah, but that was before you saw anything, right? The Montana State game, you hadn't seen anything, right? And Arizona...
Yeah, they react to what they've seen.
Right. And so what you saw in getting beat by Arizona and by Auburn, and you covered the spread. You didn't cover against New Mexico State. Was there a game in between? There was not, right? Wasn't there? Yeah, Fresno State. Fresno State pounded you. And that was a game where Fresno State just is better at this point. I don't know. I'm just thinking people are seeing kind of what you and I are seeing. Better, but not there yet. What Bronco keeps saying is there's potential. There's something there that we're going to get there.
They'll compete because they have a quarterback and an offense.
Quarterback's so big, dude. The quarterback is so big. Who's the backup? Is it Tabscott? I know. I got it right here. No, honestly,
Isaiah Chavez.
When was the last time you didn't know this is what.
Do you see? I don't think Tapscott's on a team anymore.
The number 2 quarterback is Isaiah Chavez. Yeah, yeah, and James Lobstein and Emery Floyd. Yeah, this is the first time. And by the way, there's a quarterback who wears number 99 is listed as potentially number 3 on the depth chart. I kind of want to see number 99 play quarterback. When was the last time, and I'm going to guess ever, certainly not since I've been here, 20-something years, that we're 5 games in and we don't know who the hell the backup quarterback is, right? I mean, honestly, every year the conversation is who should be quarterback this week. This has been beautiful. It's been really nice having a good, solid playmaker quarterback. Now, you'd like to win some games, and you got an opportunity this weekend. You got a real opportunity this weekend. That'd be 2 in a row. All right, who you got today? Tigers and Guardians. Who do you like?
Guardians.
Cobb and Montero. I like the Guardians too today. Mets and Phillies. I'll take the Phillies. Who you got?
That will go 5. Let's go with 5 there.
All right.
Okay.
Yankees Royals. Lugo versus Schmidt.
Going Yankees.
Okay. Padres close it out tonight.
Going Dodgers.
Are you?
5. Oh, cry me a river, Dodger fans. Like, this is the worst thing ever. Give me 98 wins and an opportunity every year.
Dylan Cease tonight for San Diego. Dodgers haven't announced a pitcher yet. It's going with a bullpen game. San Diego closes them tonight. I think. I hope. I want to be wrong.
Fire Robert.
I'm playing that reverse psychology game that you play all the time. I'm doing that one with you.
I think you should trade Ohtani after this. Trade Mookie Betts. Trade Freddie Freeman. Just start over.
Just to free up some salary?
Over. Yeah. You need to make some room to make some changes on that roster. Those guys are dragging you down.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Maybe you can finally afford some pitching.
Got a lot of pitching. All in the IR. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On is here at 4 o'clock. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning. We'll start at 7 a.m. That's what we do on weekdays. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports will be with us tomorrow at 8:30. Aggies will have played. United will have played. Baseball will have played. We've got a lot to talk about tomorrow. Adrian, great work. Looks good on the TV side. Always does. Big day for you?
Huge day.
All right. Enjoy that. Hey, be good to each other, boys and girls. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. Smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills